here are the representatives from both teams. Comps, Meadowhawk, welcome. Hey, how's it going, guys? Meadowhawk, what's going on? I like the get up.
Yeah, I figured I need to draw in all the juju we can. I'm gonna pick and choose throughout the season. Obviously, you know, Comps has his bike, so I need my bike here too. And you know the crazy part is, I was in Quebec, and I found this Apex bike just in the garbage. Some kid named Ben threw it out. You believe that?
Really?
Just yeah.
Who does
I mean,
that?
it's brand new, and I figured I'd just take it and I'll keep it here in my background. Hopefully that helps us out.
Hey, Comps, we know a guy named Ben who owns a bike. Do you know a guy named Ben who might have thrown away a bike recently?
I don't know. I can't see the bike because I can't see Meadow
it's an Apex bike.
On the face-off.
It's an Apex bike.
I think he's insinuating.
It's an Apex.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I can't see it, so I can't see it.
It looks like it might be your bike. It looks like the kind of bike you would have.
All right.
Maybe not.
All right, Comps. Now, the one thing I wanted to ask you about, you guys actually aren't playing Sand River tonight. However, for the last couple of match days, you guys have played some rounds on it and looked fairly comfortable. What's your guys' kind of take on how the meta is kind of evolving? You guys feel comfortable with there? Are we going to see you guys playing it more, or is there something about it you guys just don't like?
I mean, as a map, it's fine, but in terms of meta, I think that's going to be like thrown out the window once the Russians start playing. So people will get new ideas, see how they play it, and then a new meta will develop after they start being broadcasted.
All right, and 07, we were talking about how you guys have had some issues on the first couple of match days, kind of struggling to put up some points. What have you guys kind of been doing the last couple days? You guys putting in extra practice time? Do you feel ready to play Elevate? Where are you guys at as a team right now?
We're struggling. I think it's kind of, a little shocking. I mean, Teal Team 6, they should have been a win. Obviously, they're a new team. Granted, new teams don't always lose. When we first came into the season, we had a fairly good start as well. But that was a bit of a shock. I don't want to say we're going to be the rival of this season, but if we don't change something, we could very well be the rival of the season. But as for Elevate, there's not really a whole lot we can do. To be honest, Elevate, they're the strongest team in the league. I would say with the changes we've made in the past weekend, if we can take one or two matches, like rounds away from them, we'd call that a success. I mean, I got my high-vis helmet on here, so hopefully we don't get steamrolled too hard. But that's all we can do. That's all we can do is just implement what we did, and hopefully, if we're good enough to take one or two, it's a plus.
All right, Meadowhawk, any final words for Elevate or your fans out there?
No, just have a good luck and good game. You probably don't need the luck, but I should be playing, so hopefully we can bring it to you. I challenged you, Comps. I want to see you on the battlefield.
Yeah. All right, Comps, any final thoughts for 07 or your fans out there?
Probably won't be playing tonight, but either way, good luck and have fun.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you on the battlefield shortly.
We're told you can see the bike now, Comps. Bye, Comps.
Oh, bye, Comps.
Oh, I tried to slip it in right there at the end. Okay, so we are almost ready to go. We are going to be seeing Meadowhawk tonight, so that is a special treat.
Meadowhawk playing, that should be fun. I heard he actually played last match day by surprise. One of the players had a connection issue and ended up dropping. So he did play a little bit then under some unfortunate circumstances, but it appears he's just starting outright tonight, which should be fun to see.
We've been waiting for this. Meadow used to play often enough. It wasn't really a big deal. He was fine as a player. And then all of a sudden he just ended up being on the bench. And kind of taking that Laps role, Laps being the old simp mascot. And then, well, he's done an amazing job at that. But it's good to see him back on the battlefield.
Yep, exactly. Good. Now, we do have another update from the offline matches. It is going to be top tier up 4-3 over Teal Team 6. So two struggling matches, or two struggling teams, I will say. Match is still in progress. However, top tier, they're one match away from getting some of their key starters back, and they're still able to be up versus Teal Team 6 right now. So
it's not bad.
Not bad. Teal Team 6 looked pretty good on their opening match day, even though they got crushed 5-0 by Elevate. However, there was definitely some signs of promise out of them. So I think that they will continue. If they keep on their current form, they kind of keep a mellow head, they'll do well. Now, let's move back to this match, 07 versus Elevate.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that did stand out is where Meadowhawk set the bar for his team. He said 1 or 2 rounds would be a success. So do you agree with that overall, just the general statement?
It's perfect. It's exactly what you want if you're 07 right now. You understand you're less than likely to win. Last time you fought this team, the scoreline was 5-0. And that was last season, by the way. Was the last time Elevate saw 07. With that, 1 win, 2 wins, when you understand realistically the state of your team, you need to be realistic. You can't just sit there and go, all right, guys, we're going to try to win anyway, and it's going to be great, and just get everyone setting a bar at victory, and then knowing that's not going to be met. Everyone knows it's not.
Setting unrealistic
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's terrible to a team. You're lying to yourselves and the rest of your team. It's not like the most egregious thing, but... being realistic is way more better use of your time than it is to just go out there. And
there's a fine. I will say there is a fine line between being realistic and trying to not be too down on morale. Now look at this lineup. I can't even say this with a straight face. 07 coming in with 6 5As and a Fosh B. Meanwhile, Elevate a Mouse, 3 5As, 2 Batchets, and a 50B. This should be a good one to watch.
Hey, don't knock it.
I'm not knocking it.
It sounds like you're knocking it.
No,
it sounds a little bit.
I think there could be some interesting plays here. I also see a lot of fantasy points on the board. A lot of high HP tanks, 2200 across the board for those 5As.
You've seen IS-7 strats before. This is the same concept. Just throw IS-7s at it. In this case, 5As. Same thing. For
a while, the EU and Russian leagues, towards the end of the first season of Tier 10, it was pretty much how many 215Bs can we bring and how quickly can we get them in our opponent's face.
215Bs are pretty disgusting.
Especially before the mouse meta, they had high DPM, high HP pools, laser accurate. They were extremely
All right, look at this, though. Opening push is going to be all of the 5As right down the middle. Just volley fire off into the other group of tanks on the side of Elevate. So this is a direct confrontation. This is one way to try and win. Just go straight at your opponent, try and make a brawl of it, and maybe things will work out.
Maybe, and they're dumping over into the heavy tanks, trying to find the isolations. Trades going back and forth. Doma trying to simp for Brett. They're just going back and forth. HP being bled from both teams right now. Where is that Fosh B even? I don't see him in there.
Makos is getting destroyed. Canadian Impact is in the backfield. Someone is turning around to put fire onto him even. So I'm not seeing enough focus out of 07 as they are now burning hit points, literally and figuratively. And Elevate's going to hold. Elevate should hold. 07.
Sternal, the first one that's about to go down for Elevate.
Was that HE? Did someone just fire HE?
Would not surprise me.
Someone just fired HE.
I mean, External was a one-shot, so HE almost does make sense if he didn't have a clean kill shot on him. And at this point, Ox is just holding his W key or triple tapping R, just trying to get into the fight. He wants some more damage, had those fantasy points for everyone. Gonna put a shot into Fosta as he just keeps rolling forward. Brett should pick up Fosta, and he does. Now only 2 tanks left alive. The new additions, Colsoid and FC Dynamo. Needless to say, this was...
that was brutal. There were less than 2 minutes in the battle before Elevate was able to win. Is there anything that matters as far as this? That was... 07 went forward. They shot at the bad men shot at them.
It just felt like 07 just drove to a guillotine and it's just done. Just done. And that fight lasted a grand 1 minute and 53 seconds. I think the fastest round we've seen so far this season. I know that Elevate last season had like a 2 minute and 10-second fast cap on Ghost Town. But that was the first one I had seen end that quickly with a brawl outside of Cliff. I know Cliff has also seen some very fast games, but
it's true.
Not this season.
I'll actually interrupt real quick to have 3 to 5 is your update for top tier versus Team 6.
That's going to leave 07 as the only team to not have any points on the season.
All right, 07. It's on you. Well, that just made this whole match really dark.
Yes, it did.
Gosh, I'm so sorry for 07 right now. But congratulations to top tier. This was the charge. So Elevate did not expect the attack. They did, however, respond pretty well. Not perfectly, but pretty well. 07 tried to focus fire, but stopped out in the open with no real cover or advantageous position. They were in lower ground even. There was almost no actual, they didn't have anything going for them. Nothing. They got nothing.
Dodo putting up 60 fantasy points. Canadian Impact, 80 fantasy points. Vetro getting another 40 off in there. Colsoy, top damage dealer, 407. Nothing too fancy to see there. Only 1,500. Drops off after there. I didn't even see Meadowhawk. Where was Meadowhawk?
He was in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, he was in the 5A.
He just shot Badman.
Yeah, only got one shot. Foster actually doing 1,200, so respectable. Wallhacks bottom for Elevate. Nothing too surprising there. It's about as well as you would think that strat was going to go in that situation, and Elevate clearly looked ready for it. Now, I can kind of respect what 07 were going for in terms of they tried to get in the low ground there to where the tanks in the village couldn't get direct shots on them, maybe find an overmatch, but they bled so much HP to get there.
Not going to happen. All right, we're going to go into game now for battle number 2, 07 versus Elevate. And looking at the lineups, James, your thoughts?
50B, 215B, I7, Type 5, good for resets on either cap, 25As and Basta in that T100. Plus, you got T100 down on the 0 line, I guess. Nice low profile tank, make it hard to, can get there quickly, hard to dig out. Maybe we'll see it. We'll die easily to a bat chat though, so something to keep an eye on. Elevate, Mouse, 3 5As, 3 bat chats. Mouse most likely to bully one of the caps or hold the middle road. 5As can be aggressive, bat chats can flex around, you get open. Try to open up the different angles. If 07 really dig in, they'll need that flexibility to kind of chip away at them. So I think 07, or I think Elevate have the tools they need to defeat anything that 07 sticks out in this game, even if it is crazy.
Fair enough. We'll have to see. T100 is moving south. Canadian Impact taking a incredibly efficient little run in his bat chat. He's making good time. 30 seconds have passed and he's already at the cap. Will bypass though, and because of that, is he going to go scout with this bypass? Or
and we're actually going to see Meadowhawk push out in this I7 going down the 1 line. Batchat already in position to get some shots on him, so he may bleed some HP here. Actually, Canadian Impact takes a shot. Nice shot there from 07.
And Meadowhawk
he gets caught out by the Batchats. Just to keep moving, he's going to start bleeding some HP. Meadowhawk down to 835, lots of damage. He's down to a 1-shot, and he goes down to wall hacks. Dodo taking a lot of damage for Elevate in return, so pretty much even trades, but the position loss for 07 is going to be vital.
Absolutely is. Now, looking at damage, 07 is actually, well, for a moment they were in a slight lead. I don't know how long this will last, but Elevate needs to take the little city if they're going to have any chance of really, you know, if they want to win here. Tricky part, of course, is getting control, and that's where 07 is actually holding on in this fight so far.
Colsoy does pick up Brett. Vetro did get a shot into Makos. Andy snaps the shot off, doesn't get a connection.
But Makos actually doesn't realize that because he's waiting, he's actually avoiding an opportunity to get some shells out. Vetro and External had a chance to reload.
And Ox is pushed straight up the middle road and has gotten in behind 07 now. Andy does put a shot into him finally, but Ox is going to make it really awkward for 07 to kind of shift around right now, and that could be the final nail in the coffin, is I don't really see any way for them to kind of get out of the position they're in. They're pretty much stuck in each of their own individual little corridors between Ox, the heavy tanks, and the Batchats in the south. There is nowhere that any of these tanks for 07 can move without being shot, and the cap pressure is now being built up. So this is a really tough situation if you're 07. They need to find an opening, and I don't see it. Maybe onto Ox if they can get enough tanks around that side, open up. But if you do that, the Batchats over on the 0 line would just push in and collapse, and this is going to just go nowhere really fast.
That's the expectation, but look at the Type 5. I'm wondering if Andy gets the right shot on the right tank, that could be huge, but yeah, he's not really in a great position for it, is the problem.
He's squaring off versus a Mouse, which has too much armor for that Type 5 to really make a consistent impact. I mean, he will get some damage.
But I know what you mean. It's not exactly like hitting a bat chat.
Well, yeah, it's not like it's not going to do the full alpha of that gun. It's not going to do the full 1400 as well. Wax does pick up FC Dynamo. External's going to push in here. Ox trying to push around.
Canadian getting some nice shells into Colsoid. He's on the reload, though. And he's left. He's last. Colsoid is the last one alive. 07 was not able to hold on to the city, to the little city over Elevate.
Vetro getting me a few more fantasy points there as he picks up the final kill onto Colsoid. So overall, pretty decisive stuff there from Elevate. Nice solid offense, kind of picked apart the defense there from 07, capitalized on Meadowhawk trying to make that push late. We've seen a lot of teams get very good at countering out those heavy tanks pushing down there. It's kind of a tricky situation because the IS-7 is the slowest of the heavy tanks to push down there, but it has the best armor once it is there. So it's the balance between getting there safely and having the best tank once you're actually there. Because you try going for a 113, it gets down there quicker, but it has a softer turret, not as good gun depression, so it's not the best tank in the position if it's there. So it's kind of that balance they have to juggle, you know, between just picking their lineup in the beginning and start of the game.
Yeah, so looking at some of these opening moves, here's that IS-7 we were just talking about moving south, taking too much damage because, well, Elevate tanks were ready for it. There's Foster going down as well, so showing you Elevate's focus in the southeast. That's the first priority target if you're going to control the the east side of the map. Then they move north into the village Colsoid, ending up with 3,600 damage as the FE215B. Not a surprise, though, because it is a damage farming tank.
Yep, now it kind of fell out of favor with the mouse meta, but it's starting to come back a little bit as some of these lineups soften up. Ox, top damage dealer, 3,400 for Elevate. Vetro, second, 2,800, another 63 fantasy points. And Wallhacks, 3 kills, as well as 2,700 damage, 90 fantasy points. You know, we've talked about that before. The callers can put up some pretty decent numbers just because they put themselves in good positions. They kind of see things move there before they have to tell anyone to do it. And, you know, it's something that can definitely work in their favor. Looking at the other team, 07, outside of Colsoid, no one really able to stand out. Meadowhawk getting caught out early on, unfortunately not able to do much for his team, nor too many other players out there, including FC Dynamo, who gets caught out after doing only 925.
All right, we're getting ready to go to Ghost Town now. And on Ghost Town, this is Elevate's map. So 07's going to have to pull out some crazy plays if they want something to work. Altogether, though, the number of strategies and options that 07 has for Ghost Town are kind of limited by their lineup. If they don't bring the right lineup, certain strats, no matter how well executed, just are going to work out poorly.
Yeah, in 07, if you look at the lineups here, 250Bs, 2 mice, 2 5As, and a Batchat. Meanwhile, Elevate, 2 mice, 2 Type 5s, 2 5As, and a Batchat. So both teams opting for 1 Batchat, 2 5As, 2 mice. However, the difference here is 2 50Bs versus 2 Type 5.
Okay.
Defense does go to Elevate, so they don't necessarily... You know, I want to say they don't need to necessarily flex around as quickly. However, defense on Ghost Town, you need to flex around. You need to be able to move.
A little bit. You need to flex around a little bit. Just a little. Not that much. But yeah, the Type 5s, I'm a little concerned. You could find them out of position. But I got to admit, the damage we've seen out of Type 5s before is pretty impressive. They could just smack the top of a tank that otherwise would be invincible for significant damage.
Well, and the thing we've also seen happen is versus mice. If the HE shell hits just the gun mantlet, what can happen is the splash from the HE shell can go straight down into the engine compartment and actually cause fires and engine damage. So
that's why it's just so brutal. And well, combine it with some mice, and the opening move from 07 isn't super aggressive. It's a little east and north, maybe kind of pressuring the north cap, but not rushing it whatsoever. I'd actually call that a wise move, because by the time you would get on cap and have any cap points, the Type 5s would get into position and know exactly what to shoot at. They have HE, can take down all these buildings. Concept proven, Oxmathis just takes down an entire building with his Type 5. And Andy Pence moves out in the open, takes 451 as the toll, and this may be the cap that I thought wasn't going to be necessarily a great idea. Building goes down. Oxmathis fires 604 into Andy Pants, and that's going to also prompt the mouse, or Moisen, I think is the plural, to move slightly south and east to flank this attacking position from 07. Meantime, see that Batchat moving farther south, and he's going to meet up actually with the Batchat on the side of 07, Colsoid, and they should fight it out. While on the cap, Type 5s work to defend with the assistance of the 5A, played by Dodoma.
Yeah, Colsoid and Canadian Impact actually squared off in the south there in the Batchats, and Impact having to bail out, turn around, drop his clip. Colsoid now should come in and get some opening shots onto the tanks of Elevate, so if they can capitalize on it quickly, this isn't completely over for 07.
And now up and over, we see the Type 5s attacking, pressuring onto the 5As of 07, understanding where the advantage is. and landing numerous shells, actually. Fantastic job right now. Ox Mathis has done 2,200 damage already, and we are just we're not even 3 minutes into the battle.
Look at all the module damage being done to 07 from those HE shells. 2 dead gunners, a dead commander, and a dead driver. And
nicely played. Wall hacks and Ox Mathis kill Andy Pants.
And this is just...
There we go.
07 aren't out of it, but they're not in a great position.
Just Elevate's playing it very, very well is the problem. It's like, what are you going to do against 2 Type 5s defending Cap? Ox Mathis just picks up Fawston. Like, right there. That's beautiful play. And on the other side of the map, this Batchat fight, well, that bounce from Colossus. Oh, that's what you need.
And that could be what turns the tide here in favor of 07, is this should even them up on HP. Colossus picks up the kill.
Wow, that was not expected. Okay, but in the meantime, Ox Mathis has moved his flank around to the behind of some 07 heavy tanks. Warbender just went down, so where there was some advantage gained for a moment, I think it's all about to just go away.
And Brett bouncing a bunch of shots in that mouse from the 50B. He's just going to drive towards them as the Type 5 of Ox Mathis does take down Meadowhawk finally. External puts another shot into Makos. 2 50Bs and a Batchat, all that remain for 07.
Yep, Makos is left alone, all by himself. He dies. FC Dynamo, other side of a cap, trying to defend. Not gonna happen. And Elevate holds yet again, Rux. They hold once more.
Yeah, they made 07 made them work a little bit harder that time. Still not enough though.
Not enough. Although they're at least putting a dent into Elevate every fight. I'll give them that. This isn't that. There's nothing necessarily wrong inherently with the strategy. It's just Elevate's reactions and executions are on top of it. They understand exactly what 07 is going for, as if the plan had been written down ahead of time. And people are getting silly on the side of...
Oh, and the HG shot. Wax from downtown with the Type 5.
Nice.
Not bad there. Closely putting up some good damage, but at the end of the day, not able to really... You know, he almost turned that around maybe a little bit more. He got another clip off. He could have kind of chipped them down, but unfortunately, when he took that one-on-one with Impact, the rest of his team was already in a position which they couldn't recover from.
Yeah, it was pretty much over at that point. That's one reason why sometimes we'll even miss out on those side fights, because it doesn't matter how interesting they are. Sometimes that main fight's the only thing that matters. Even if you 1v2'd on the other side of the map, sometimes it's not going to matter, because the main fight, the bulk of your force, just gets taken out. So, as we move on, we are going to flip sides and do this once more.
And what was the third map? Was that Ghost?
Oh, the
third map was Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, but we're still on Ghost Town.
Yeah.
We're still here. This is where we are.
Looking at the replays here, a lot of damage being bled on Cap. Those Type 5s just wreaking havoc with just the module damage alone. Impact going down to the fire, but this ended up being a minor thing in the end. Colossus just took too long to get into the fight, and when he did, if you look at the rest of the team, just already dying. Meadowhawk going down. Makos not really making that clip count. Just too many things just totaled up for 07 to where they really couldn't claw into it.
Yeah, that's the thing about matches like these, is there are redeeming merits for. There are things 07's doing that are great, but it's hard to point those out next to what Elevate's doing. They're just on top of everything. The reactions are perfect.
Ox in the Type 5, 4,600 damage. Second time we've seen the 4K damage marker broke tonight.
Yep.
105 fantasy points. Colsoy doing what he could, 3,400, 2 kills, 80 fantasy points. Brett in the Mouse, 3,400, 66 fantasy points. Vetro, 3K, 2 kills, almost 80 fantasy points. Not bad there. External also having a solid game. FC Dynamo, Meadowhawk doing what they could, but just at the end of the day, not really able to get into the fight. Makos only getting a clip and 1 shot off, so just overall not really able to get into the fight. And Dodo and Canadian Impact both having poor games, but they were more, I don't want to call them Ken fodder, but just HP that just absorbed a lot of shots while the rest of the team kind of did the damage. So
pretty much. They just didn't even have the opportunity to deal the damage most of the time.
Yeah, and 07's Focus Fire was decent when they did catch some of them out of position. They did take some of them down quickly, but just not enough at the end of the day. And looking at the lineups, 07, 3 Mice, 3 57s, a Batchat, and a Leopard 1, Meadowhawk's favorite tank. Meanwhile, Vetro coming in with a 50B, 3 mice, a 5A, a bad chat, and a Fosh B. So we won't see any type 5s. The Fosh B should be something to keep an eye on, though.
All right. And to start off this match, we're actually going to take a listen in with Elevate to hear out their strategy and their early game comms. So let's go ahead and tune into that.
Get super important things and calls. No more stream.
Might be the TS.
No, you're fine. No,
that sounded clear. That sounded really clear there.
No, it's a TS adding random sounds. I should be watching.
Whenever somebody else talks, I hear ringing noise.
I don't know. His voice mic seems to be fixed now. It's like super clear, not quiet anymore.
My accuracy. What if I shoot the truck?
I got lit in the south.
You should make it so that if you shoot HE, it doesn't count as accuracy. But then a type 5 wouldn't work.
I don't know what they're doing here. He's like looking for a shot on the south.
You two mice, make sure you watch and see if you can shoot to the corner.
They're expecting us to go south here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Are we going on right away?
See if he
They're
goes
blind
higher.
firing buildings.
Are we getting on right away or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're hiding behind the crane here.
Hide behind
Yeah, hide behind the crane and then...
I don't see him getting on.
Так тримався.
Dino,
Там два там.
can we get the leopard off? Can we get the leopard off? Take this metal. Go now, please, go quickly.
С этой стороны заходить как-то.
Да. Они
We're
думают,
just
там
gonna wait as long as we can for the Leo and the 57 guys. Foster, you need to come in with the mice, please. Just come in here.
Нет, почат стоит, наверное, меня контролит, стопудово. Может еще больше.
Да. Может он когда поехать.
Just, I think the Leo will make it. 30 seconds is a long time.
Пока я не хочу без...
No, I'm not gonna get there.
Yeah, make us do that. You can go with and make us look under, it's fine. Just come with me then, that's fine.
Where are they?
They're behind the crane.
Cap?
Yeah, it's fine.
Do we just want to go up this way or what?
Yeah, maybe you can get it.
There's another mouse. We'll just shoot.
57. Okay, careful crossing.
Two. Tracked. Shot of on. Whoever it is on that 57.
Yeah, you can move. We can move this way.
Yeah, we can
I'm reloading.
shoot the 57. We can shoot the 57.
I'm gonna move into here.
Reloading for 30. I'm coming toward closer. I shot an 82.
That's all their tanks. That's all. That's everything.
They're
How many
peeking.
times has the 57 shot?
3 at least.
They're peeking from both sides.
We need to use the crane to get ourselves safe.
57 shot
Or you have to get that guy.
You guys shoot the
External, get ourselves safe from this left
shot.
corner.
Taking a lot of damage.
He's gonna kill me.
Come
though.
behind me, come behind me.
I can't
I'm
reload.
dead to
7.
this bed. Guys. It's our
I
bed.
can't help you.
He's fighting
I
on
can come
flank.
back that way. It's a while.
They pinned every shot. Mouse distract.
We can't lose this.
It's fine. Just keep dealing with that. I'm coming back. I'm gonna win this flank. You guys just focus on mid.
I'm doing damage on these guys in the corner.
I'm still on cap.
57
I'm reloading.
shot.
One shot. One of mine still your shot. I'm reloading. 2 1
Again, just focus on mid. I'll shoot
Impact. He's 700 health.
Yeah.
I got a Leo and 57 potential.
There's the other 57.
Never mind.
Yeah, there's 57. I'm reloading.
Leo's gonna probably come behind me.
Loading for 15. I can kill this guy.
They're gonna try and get the mouse.
Bat leaving.
Yeah, I can shoot him. He shot once.
If you're healthy,
57 shot
healthy,
once.
Brent
57
might
shot
have
once.
to-
I'm healthy.
I have
I'm
2K
full
as
health.
well.
57
I'm sort
shot
of
2.
healthy.
57 shot 2.
They're gonna have to come back to me though, so like, just be ready for it, guys.
So do you have to get your safe
57
from
shot
that?
3.
I'm
3.
pretty safe right now. I have
I'm covering Dodo if they
I have
peek from the
external's
right.
dead carcass, so
Yeah, if they peek, I can shoot.
the only thing
That's
that they
trying to
can
get
do
up.
is come up right
Yeah,
here.
he shot 2.
That's the only
Impact. He
angle,
shot 2.
really.
$30. You have to make a move.
They could come from this angle.
They can still come.
2
But I'm
mice
safe
right
from
here,
that.
2
I'm
mice,
safe
2
from that
mice
angle
right
though.
there. 57 shot once.
They're gonna have to come in here any second.
They're coming now. Get ready.
Are they coming at all?
57.
I tracked four bandit.
Hit him. 57 shot once.
They may not.
Oh,
Elevate, very cool, calm, and collected there as they try to close this out. Very fluid game plan they have set up. Just trying to react to 07 as they come at them from different angles. But so far they've been up to the task. Makos is going to push in, put a shot into the Doma, but Brett is going to come around with that Foch B and I think finish off Makos here in a second.
Try.
Colsoid comes behind him, picks him up.
Yeah, that was not a wise play. Brett decided to kind of suicide himself in that sense. And well, this didn't look half bad for 07 for a little while, but Elevate's just too good.
Just doing everything right.
Every single thing. Except for that one bit with Brett. That one thing with Brett was honestly, I think, a YOLO. He just decided, I'm just going to go.
It doesn't matter, we've already won, I can do what I want.
Kind of.
Trying to be a little bit cheeky, get in there, get some damage.
Yeah, pretty much. And not quite. And it wasn't quite bold enough to throw the battle because it was mostly decided by that point. Nice shot by Canadian. Getting a kill. Meadow.
Down to poor Meadowhawk and his Leopard 1.
Yep. I believe in you, little buddy. You can do it. Believe in yourself.
And Dodo puts him down, and that is going to make it 4-0 in favor of Elevate. One more round, and they will seal the nail in the coffin on another 5-0.
Yep. And that's what Elevate does, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of straightforward. There's not a lot of variance. They win, and, well, then they win more. And then they win some more, and then they go to the global finals, and then they lose there, but only for third place.
They're good enough that they could pretty much telegraph their strat to pretty much anyone but Eclipse and expect to walk away with a win as long as they play well. And this is kind of what it was. They didn't really break out anything mind-boggling or crazy this game. They just ran a fairly standard strat, but they ran it well. They knew how to cover each other.
I think the comms helped give a lot of insight to what exactly is going on for Elevate. You could hear how calm and cool and collected that they were, right? There was no point at which they, even when it got a little energetic, it was energetic because these guys are having fun. It didn't feel like anyone was stressed out or freaking out. They're like, what do we do? Oh my God.
Yeah, and
you know?
Yeah, look at it though real quick. Colsoid, if anyone has him on your fantasy team, I don't know why you'd have him in this matchup, but he's making it worth another 100 fantasy points. He's got to be up at like 300 or 400 already. And 3,700 damage, not bad. Ox Mathis, 3,500 damage, 72 fantasy points. Domo, Vetro, Brett, and Wallhacks all doing what they can, all 2,600 plus. Consistent fantasy points. Warbender next best for 07. And then after that, it drops off pretty heavily. Meadowhawk only able to get in 1,800, no kills. Impact actually having 4 kills, not bad chat. Not a lot of damage, but 4 kills is nothing to scoff at.
Remember, you'll actually lose out on a lot of your damage dealt if you are picking up kills. Especially when tanks are low at, like, you know, less than 100 hit points. You're only getting credit for that 50, 60, 70 damage that you do. You don't actually get credit for the
where your shot does another 350 damage, for example. So, yeah,
exactly.
Look at what you're going on there.
Yeah, just something to always note for a lot of us out there. It's easy to underestimate. Yeah. But when you see no kills, that's about the extent of your damage total. There's no... That's it. That's completely it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's going to have to be 07 to attack now on Himmelsdorf.
Well, good luck. Have fun, 07. Elevate. Well, this is what you do. This is why you guys are the best. Let's see why they are the best as we explore their strategy, beginning with their tank lineup.
Coming in here with a 113, 2 mice, type 5, 2 5As, and a bat chat. Nothing too crazy there. 07, a mouse, 3 5As, 2 bad chats, and an E4.
All right, so with this 07 strat, it says a little bit of flexibility, but you've got a type 5, which Elevate seems to enjoy the type 5. I enjoy it as well. It's just a fun little tank.
Yeah, well, I mean, it always does damage
always
with those big HE shells. Now, what you rarely get the full penetration value of, you know, the 1450.
But when you do,
it's magnificent. And 2, you'll still be doing a constant, you know, 300, 400, 500 damage to most tanks, which to a tank like a mouse isn't necessarily bad. Which, you know, begs the question, why not bring a mouse?
Precisely,
but,
yeah.
You know, it works for them, so I'm not going to knock it. And Ox obviously put up some great games already in the Type 5 tonight, so I don't see any reason why he won't continue to do so.
And we shall see what the strategy is from Elevate. It looks like a normal split, right? This is the classic defense, in a way, where we're going to have Canadian Impact going forward to proxy spot. This is spotting through hard cover with a distance of 50 meters. And he's going to find Andy Pants. Well, not through proxy. And we're going to go ahead and take a listen in with Elevate, see what they've got to say as they're going with a strategy from a few years back.
They don't have a Type 5, so we could potentially move a
Bat. Where's Andy Pam's looking, Brett?
I'm gonna watch that.
He's not. He's looking courtyard.
He's not looking right now.
Is that guy up the ramp or down the ramp?
Up.
He's peeking. No, he backed up. Still looking courtyard.
I'm looking down the 1-2 right now. Oh,
I
up
tracked
here.
him.
Only for 600 though. The bet's down to 1200 right now.
He's stuck too, he can't leave.
He's
He
stuck,
can't
he's
leave.
Stuck, he trusts. They're going 1-2, going 1-2.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the window.
I'm backing up.
Nice.
Oh, I hit him. I'm backing
Wheezy's
up.
trying to peek up
I
and
hit
shoot
a Wheezy
somebody.
for 600. They're gonna cross again. Dodo's in a bad spot. He's backing up there.
He's dead?
Not
He's
dead yet, no.
I'm doing damage, so it's not like worse.
Lit.
Bad chat grabbing on me. He's -1.
Yeah, it's alright, we're gonna have support.
Нормально.
What shot you, man?
There's Wizzy. Wizzy at C3.
А there Wizzy, у них глазашка вот здесь.
Fuck.
Как
Make us, you need to control 3 line. Make us control 3 line, okay? Make us do not let them cross T3 without getting hit.
The Type 5's down the lane.
Can we get a back check hill? Can a back check go, please?
Да.
Поехали. They have 3 tanks here. They're Wizzy, Type.
Control that, make us control that. Let's get both bad chats hill then. Go both hill. And one of you bad chats go here, one bad chat here, so I don't get stuck, and then one of you bad chats up here.
Can they leave?
Yeah, sort of. Some of them can, some of them can't.
Okay, I'm over here. I'm watching 3 line now.
They're stuck where they are right now.
I don't see Andy in the window, so...
Okay, they could come off hill here. I wouldn't
They're
be able to see it right now.
They're down a lot of hit points.
Oh my god. I'm just gonna sit here, I'm not gonna even do anything. But we need Andy Pens if we can.
There he is.
Just keep eyes on him.
Yeah, he came back as I looked away. Does anyone have shots on him?
Good shot, for sure.
Loading HE for him.
I'm spotted.
Oh, they're probably gonna cheat me now. Fuck.
Who is exactly?
Warbander. And now Eddie Pens is shooting at me like I was worried he was gonna do.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot him too.
Dodo, can't you just leave to...
I'm gonna have to go down like the 3 line or back up it.
I hit the 5.
There's E3. E3's up.
E4? E4 shot.
Oh, E4. There's no safety.
You have to keep backing up.
It's not in the
I don't know, he shot me.
Spotted. I
Bad chats get together. We want to try to make this play, I think. Can we pull the Wheezy out safely? Can the Wheezy get out without getting lit faster?
Yeah, I can get out without getting spotted. Yeah.
Go down, go now then, go down. We're gonna take this, we want to pinch it for bad chats.
What's the 500 HP, 600 HP? Type 5
That's fine, you can take 2 bad hits.
Mouse is playing here, right? Mouse is just playing here.
Just chill there, that's a good position, keep that. Faster get out. You keep holding that corner, Mikos. Bad chats, get damage you can, but then we're gonna look to play through here with our bad chats and 2 Wheezies, okay?
Да. Да, нам надо ехать, короче.
Here's a bad chat, here's a bad chat.
Canadians out 1. One mouse.
Mako's trying to get a shot on external.
Да, вижу.
Mako's trying to pull up for a shot on external.
Just make a choice.
Еще одна ВЗшка, да? Ага, нет, все.
Не, ВЗшка была тут, она если не уехала.
Банан надо, да. Попробуй заряжаться, где нам может ВЗ уехать.
Нам нужно ехать на банан сам.
Да, на сам банан, сюда заедь.
They can try, kill.
Kind of interesting to hear them go back and forth. The comms from both teams, different ideas being ran right now. As the Batchats 407 are going to pincer out this 8 line, try to come in and catch out Batchat 5A, but they're going to flex away in time, and Elevator are going to flank in or around behind them with the 113 and Mouse. So these Batchats are going to be caught in this 8 line with nowhere really to go. Canadian Impact getting some shots in.
Yeah, Canadian one needs to run because right now pressure is on him. Dodges 1 shell, takes another. Seeks to find some safety and cover, but it's probably not going to last. No, it doesn't. Meadowhawk picks up the kill. And that's going to be 2 tanks down on the side of Elevate, by the way, for none on the side of 07. So some credit due here to 07. They're not doing half bad, but they're way lower on hit points.
Well, the problem is they have Batchat stuck in this 8 line. squaring off versus the heavies, and what the Batchets are not good at is close-range brawling with heavy tanks. The penetration's a little bit low, and real soft armor where the heavy tanks will probably bounce stuff, especially something like this mouse.
Wallhacks got greedy and went for the Batchat FC Dynamo instead of the clearer shot in front of him. But I'll give it to him. It would have been a kill. Would have.
Could have stopped him from getting away as Vetro does finally pick up Colsoid.
And there, Andy Pans takes a shell as well. Looking at 5,000 to 8,000 hit points. Solid position from Elevate. Not much to exploit in that regard. But we shall see where this goes. Brett starts getting into a solid position. Fires, gets a hit onto Makos. Nice. From Brett, that's good. That's good stuff. There we go. A few more shells. Back and forth across the middle courtyard, and this should be all over for Elevate. If 07 has something sneaky, though, they might be able to salvage this. And,
tanks are even, 5-on-5.
Yeah, but remember, attacker has that disadvantage of needing to attack. Defender Elevate could just wait this out. 3 minutes is all they need. They just need to waste 3 minutes. They got this. And that'll be a 5-0 again, keeping the record straight for them. 07, though, if they pick up a win, that's a huge success here. What can they do to make that happen?
Well, Andy Pans is stuck and he's a one-shot. So with 1 HP, he's not doing much. Someone could breathe on him and kill him. And External will do just that, take him out. Meadowhawk tried to get a punishing shot on the External there, didn't land it though.
Not quite. Not this time. And Oxmathis is going to begin, I believe, aggressing on Warbander. Vetro's moving up a little bit.
Maybe if they could flex over towards the one cap and push up in the north,
or get a bad
regrouped back there, maybe, but they're down on guns, down on HP. I just don't see any way in for them, really.
Yeah, the position that 07 let Elevate keep into too tight a position.
I like this out of Elevate. Got very aggressive, took away the map, didn't allow for 07 to really take anything they wanted to. They denied them over on the 1 line, made them back off. They tried going 8 line, they flexed over there, denied them 8 line control, and then they went back and denied them 3 line control. Just didn't leave them with anywhere to really go, and it's just such a suffocating defense to play against. 07 not getting into it.
Yeah, and I'm watching Warbender bounce on Oxmathis. I mean, the Type 5's a good tank, no joke, but there were some of those shells that I thought really would pen. But there we go. Oxmathis is going to win, get Warbander. 3 tanks left alive for 07. And less than 2 minutes left in the battle as all tanks from Elevate begin to collapse victoriously upon the opponent in one final charge. Although, actually, the 5A, never mind. I retract any thoughts that I had about that. And the E4. Well, yeah, it's done.
Yep, this is pretty much over as Ox picks up FC Dynamo, and that will end it 5-0 in favor of Elevate. Puts me 2-0 on predictions for the night. Everyone picked the correct winners pretty much the whole night, but scorelines.
You picked 2 players from Elevate for your fantasy roster.
Yes, I did.
Saw that,
and I'm pretty sure one of them will be the top point scorer from this match as well. So
okay. We'll have to hold on and see if they break 300 points, because the thing is...
one of my players broke almost 5k damage this game, so... We'll get to that in a minute as we get to these replays in a second from this last battle.
So what did you see there, Rox? Anything you want to note?
I just like how Elevate played. I like their defense. They didn't stay stagnant. They denied different areas of the map. They flexed around. They looked where a threat was going to be coming from, and they flexed there before they could get there. So just overall, I'd really like it from Elevate. It's... You know, I often talk about passive defenses and why I don't like them, and this is the type of defense I like. A very
active, involved.
Exactly. They saw what the other team was going to do. They predicted. They set up to deal with it. They not only predicted their opening move, but their secondary move, their third move. They got there ahead of time. And looking at Ox, 4,700 damage, 2 kills, 112 fantasy points. Not bad there. Makos, top damage dealer, 407. Then Vetro, another 53 fantasy points. External, 71. Fosta, FC Dynamo, and Warbander also not putting up great points. Now, another thing I will note was we mentioned during the game we were doing the listen-ins, it was actually sounded like Andy Pans doing the main calling there for 07. Fosta really didn't say much for them during that game.
Not during that game. So that means one of two things. He's either calling for that map, that battle kind of thing, or there may be some turnover of the caller vault, but it could be temporary. Sometimes that'll happen. For whichever map, you'll have a different caller based on what roles everyone plays. So someone who makes a decent scout might not call on the open maps because they're too busy with one thing, and then on city maps do something else. Like there's a lot of options there. So that was certainly something we all noted and might have to watch out for in the future.
Fair enough, and then we'll move on to the post-match stats coming in here. Ox, 400 fantasy points, 5 kills, 1,800 damage, not bad. Vetro, 288, respectable, not great, but respectable. Koisoid, 300 fantasy points, pretty strong showing despite 07 being on the losing end. It's not bad there. Brett, external, Makos, Wallhacks all doing decent. Based on damage, Impact and Dodo having a rough night, but overall team did spectacular. They did their parts, can't really knock them.
Yeah, maybe we'll ask comps if they're working on their sharing damage tactics.
Well, Ox appeared to want it all for himself.
Yeah,
he put up a lot of damage tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of comps, we are joined by him right now for a winner interview real quickly.
Oh, hey.
Once again, Elevate getting a nice clean 5-0 has to feel good.
Yep, feels pretty good. I mean, I don't know. This was kind of sloppy for a match, so there's still some improvement to be made. But overall, 5-0, couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah. What aspects do you feel you need to work on clean up from that game?
Well, we had a mic issue starting after the third match, so comms sort of started getting out of hand, and also there's a lot of missed shots. I guess bad RNG. I don't know. I have to go over replays to see what exactly went wrong, but overall, there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up there.
Is that something you guys spend a lot of time doing, going over your replays from previous matches? Do you do that kind of individually, or is that more of like a team exercise, or how do you guys go about that?
Well, so far it's been individual, but I guess we're gonna have to do it as a team from now on. So,
hey,
yeah.
All right, fair enough. So overall, though, I think that series went pretty clean. Not too much to talk about. Ghost Town did get a little bit hairy there, but overall, you guys kind of pulled through. The Type 5s, you guys seem to be favoring them. Do you feel that's more just per the opponent, or do you feel that they're viable for pretty much anyone you play?
Well, Type 5s on Ghost Town are viable for the fast cap resets. I mean, those turret shots are pretty hard to do if you're shooting regular rounds. So with a Type 5, it's just easy to splash the turrets and get consistent resets. So that's why they're brought in Ghost Town.
All right, fair enough. All right, comps, we'll keep it short. Anything else you want to say out there to your fans, sponsors, etc.?
Nope. I mean, thanks for watching, and I guess we're not on next week, but the week after we'll be back. So you guys enjoy and stick around.
All right, thank you very much, comps. Congratulations on the win once again.
Yep.
Thanks.
They're still good at it, guys. They're still really, really